Do you mourn? Sorry, bit of a mess this morning. Do you mourn? And is it authentic sadness? Or is it grief? There is a definite line between morning and afternoon. Good afternoon. No. Okay. Apparently, I'm live on my channel. It's Tuesday, February 17th. It is now, nearly 10 a.m. I got a lot to do today, but I felt like I had to say this. I don't know why, but there it is. So what is it you mourn? I mean, I'm in the first part, I talked about how our emotions are manipulated by social media, which obviously they are. If you're going to go on media at all, you're going to be in touch with somebody's emotions because everybody has emotions. There are very few people in this world that have zero emotions, like zero remorse, zero authentic sadness, authentic love, authentic emotions like empathy, compassion. Sure, some people are like hard-hearted people. But you're not hard-hearted if you're not mourning the death of, an octogenarian actor or celebrity or someone you didn't really know. Yes, you can feel sad about it. It's a sad loss when people leave your life. But it's not grief. It's not grief. But if you mourn enough people, you tend to get to a point where you might become desensitized to the authentic sadness of losing someone close, someone who's been very close and very dominant in your life, like a dominant presence in your life. So that I understand. My parents have both passed away. I've lost many friends, some younger than me, which wasn't very easy to witness. I've held people in my arms as they've died, and I still love them very much. And, it's a process. Real grief is a process. But real emotions are far more important than these fake sort of like, oh my God, he meant so much to me. Well, who? I mean, actors? Hi, Tyler. Wow, lots of highs. I don't know what these number one crowns. Tyler, HUFC. Hereford United Football Club. Hi. Yes, hi. So, if you've lost somebody in your life, I can go there. I can access my memories, and I've lost a lot of people. I'm 70, so I've obviously been associated with lots of other people, and during the course of my life, have I felt authentic grief and sadness? Of course. Do I wallow in that authentic sadness? Do I think my life can't go on because I've lost somebody near and dear to me? No. I mean, it's devastating at first, but you get through it and you work your way through it. But you don't forget. It's not like, oh, okay, here comes the memory wipe. No, it's not that. It's always there. It's always there to access. But then authentic emotions are there for us. Yeah, I'm okay. You okay? Yeah. Got any questions, Tyler? Like real questions? Just type them up. I'll answer as best I can. I have friends, somebody who's very close to me, who it would be terribly, oh, it would be such a terrible blow to me to lose this person. And she's in poor health, and she's taking care of it. But it's so hard to witness her struggle with her grief because she lost somebody that was more more to her than anybody else in the world. She lost somebody many years ago, but she has never let it go. She can't. I mean, yes, you can put it in a memory box, and you can open the memory box. But I think she's frightened she's going to lose the memory box. But the thing is, it's like it's all fear driven when you hang on to it, and it rules your life. Don't let fear rule your life. You can access your memories. You can access that authentic emotions. How do you know Hereford United? Hereford United. I was originally dropped off on this planet in Cheltenham, and it's very close to Hereford. I used to go horse racing in Hereford. I have memories of being at the horse races in Hereford, and also I remember Hereford United was. Sorry, this is a question from Tyler. Um, I'm answering the question. How do I know Hereford United? Hereford, yeah, it's there. It's in my memory banks. I remember it clearly now because I'm going there. But that Hereford United experience for me was another one of authentic sadness. I went to Hereford races, and I looked after a horse that was in a race, and the trainer said, "I can't let you ride it first time over fences. I want somebody very experienced on it first over fences." And sadly, the horse fell and broke its leg and was destroyed. And that gave me some like choked up. But was it authentic sadness? Well, I've since relived that moment many times. I did cry when the horse had to be destroyed because it broke its back leg and there was nothing we could do to save it. Getting sad now, a little teary. And it was authentic sadness at the loss of the horse. But I also had it coupled with something that I was losing. You see, I was losing my opportunity to ride as a jockey on this one horse that I loved, and I looked after her in the stables, and I used to ride her out at home, and she was lovely. So yes, it was very close to me. And did it shape the man I am? No, 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 no. Okay, don't cry. It's fine. How old are you? Um, yeah, I'm old. I'm very old. I've been on this planet almost 70 years. Uh, so it does go back. I don't even think Hereford is a racecourse anymore. I don't know. I think property developers bought it up, the land, because I don't think it was supported as a racecourse. Because everything's become a little bit commercialized and it's too close to other places which were more popular for horse racing, and property was more important, housing was more important than the racecourse. So things change. No, I don't live in Hereford. Where do you live, Tyler? Are you in Hereford? Anyway, so again about grief, which was again I can go to places in my memory and go, oh, why was I sad about that? Why was I happy about that? Why was I authentically um, moved by that thing that happened? And of course, I'm only relating to things that have happened to me. But in the bigger picture, if all our feelings and our emotions are being manipulated, manipulated on media. It's just crazy that we fall for that, because once our authentic emotions are manipulated enough, we become dehumanized to authentic emotions, and then they'll use that dehumanization in order to give you what they think is your emotion. And it's a really vicious cycle. Okay. Hereford. Oh, you live in Hereford. Okay. Yeah, beautiful market town. I can remember going there and seeing the livestock sale in the city centre. They sold mostly cattle, Hereford cattle, which are globally accepted as being one of the better breeds of cattle. Anyway, okay, white girl magic. Hello, white girl magic. Race and IQ question. Which parent's genes does it say has strongest influence on the IQ of offspring? Also, which race on average scores lowest on IQ tests? And whose fault? Well, okay. Firstly, I'll answer all of those questions as best I can. Whose fault? Well, the person who invented the IQ test. That's whose fault everything is, because you can't test intelligence. Intellect relies so heavily upon our ability to cope outside of measured intelligence, right? Because our constant measurement is a mismeasurement of man. I mean, we can't possibly say that somebody born, let's say 500 years ago, was more intelligent than somebody born today, because the amount of knowledge, access to knowledge, is far greater today than it was 500 years ago. So it's like, well, that's calling everybody in history a little more stupid because of the measurement of time. And, we can get into all of that too. But as far as genetics, we've we we as humans had these two wonderful scientists, kind of open up the genetic code and look at it and look seriously at it. And they got a little bit into it, and then they obviously needed funding for more research, and they got their funding, and other people got funding, and then they ran with the little tiny bit of information that those that discovered the gene code had unearthed. So we're in our infancy as far as knowledge of genes. I mean, I think probably the best genes in the world are probably Wrangler or Levi. Sorry, just a bad joke. I don't think we're ready. I don't think this idea that we're manipulating genetically modified foods, genetically modified, they're all made to make money. So it's genetic engineering and genetic ideologies. Yes, sure, we need to understand it, but we don't understand it enough to be meddling with it yet. You see what I'm saying? It's like we've opened Pandora's box and we're looking in one tiny corner at a couple of little diamonds and we're going, "Ooh, I can make a fortune out of this." But you're missing the whole box, you know? You're just like, there's stuff in there that you're not treasuring. So I don't know. Okay. Vincent Nelson, shut up now. Tyler, bro, answer me. Tyler, okay. What's the question? Hereford. Okay. I'll answer you if you ask me a question. But they're good questions, White Girl Magic. Race. To it's a melting pot. We're all one. We're the human race. So yeah, there's red and yellow and green and blue and orange and purple and green. I mean, it's everything, isn't it? It's all of it. It's like, I don't know. I think that we're confused by genetics, and we play into the idea of bloodlines. Um, sure, in the past I've said, oh yeah, it's the Zionists, or it's the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or what. No, it's evil controllers. That's all I'm saying. I don't think the bloodlines necessarily reflect upon our intellect or our IQ or our propensity for good or evil. I think we're all capable of good and evil. I just don't think that you inherit the sins of your father, or whatever. As humans, we still have free will. So if you want to disassociate yourself, which, I mean, I think the last blue blood royal abdicated the throne for love, because he fell in love with the film star and that wasn't appropriate for somebody who was going to be king. So he abdicated the throne and it went to the next person in line. But the point is, he didn't actually turn around and said the whole thing is hogwash, and it should be, and he should have said that. But also he was like, a weirdo. So weirdos. Pokemon Isaac, how are you? I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm not grieving too much. I can't see how. Oh, I was taking my time. Sorry. Have you got any questions for me? Hereford United is still here. How are you? I meant hi. Okay, hi. If you have any questions, I'm talking mostly about grief and manufactured emotions. Manufactured emotions are being used to manipulate mankind. Manufactured emotions are being manipulated in order to coerce mankind into some form of subservience to a machine. I don't know. That's what oh, sorry. Don't apologize. Pokemon Isaac, you can say whatever you want. I mean, that's the beauty of free will and free speech. And that's the way in which the world should work, with the idea that we're free from this control system that we don't really truly understand, but will pontificate about. I'm trying not to be controlled, so I'm trying not to follow even some of the most, some of the most imaginative and brilliant pontificators I've seen on social media. They don't. There's a few that sort of ultimately see it as like humor, as some form of like humorous time waster. Is that what I am? A humorous time waster? No, I'm trying to find out who I am and where I am in my human journey. That's all. I'm not really trying to do anything else than that. I mean, I make music and art, and I try and sell that. And I usually put a link underneath, which, you can go to Bandcamp or, other places, listen to my music, and you can buy it if you want, or you can download it for free if you want. But I would rather you bought it so as I can eat breakfast. Okay, I gotta go. So if there's anybody out there that's got any more questions, and thank you for all the people, Tyler, Pokemon Isaac, Vincent Nelson, White Girl Magic, who actually did ask me questions. Thank you. Tyler. Yeah, anybody that was in there that asked me questions, I appreciate that, because if you ask questions, it makes me think, and if it makes me think, then I discover more about me, and I discover more about us, and I discover more about humanity. But I do know this, that love always wins. All right, it just does. If you live your life loving and peaceful, then that's the world you'll want to be in. And love and peace are always going to be the most powerful thing in humanity. All right, I believe that. All right, love, love, love. Cheers then, and happy Tuesday. Cheers, bye.